With that, Roger, who had broken his leg, knelt on the ground with difficulty and kept kowtow with one hand supporting it. He is really scared. What the hell is the top luxury Shangri-La? This is simply purgatory on Earth. He just want to escape now, escape back to Suzhou, escape back to own home, then lock himself up and lick the wound alone. What happened today is really humiliating, and he will not even want to go out to meet people in the next few years. Isaac didn't buy anything for his kneeling and kowtow, and said coldly, "Well, I have already said, either you two will get them away, or you will become such dead dogs just like them. There are only two roads, choose your own." Ragnar hurriedly and humbly pleaded, "Mr. Charlie, don't be angry, we will get them all out. Even if it is crawling, we will drag all 5 of them out." With Ragnar's complete compromise, the injured and lame father and son can only lean down with a grey face and tried their best to prepare to carry Jones Zijo and others out of the Shangri-La Hotel. However, the two had already become disabled, and Roger was even more miserable, having broken hands and feet, so carrying these 5 profuse sweats was simply extremely difficult. The father and son took the lead in dragging Jones Zijo out, and every time they took a step, they both panted with exhaustion. Not only were they tired, but the leg that was broken was even more painful. However, neither of them dared to yell at this time, so they could only grit their teeth and persist. Isaac hugged his shoulders, as if watching a good show, watching the father and son exert all their energy, and drag the 5 people to the square outside Shangri-La Hotel one after another like a shitball. Ragnar slumped on the ground tiredly and raised his hand to wipe off his sweat. Then he asked Isaac, "Mr. Charlie, are you satisfied now?" Isaac nodded and said coldly, "But you took too long. I let you do it in 10 minutes. How about you? It took an hour." "I'm really sorry," Ragnar said humiliatingly. "The legs and feet are indeed inconvenient. It is a waste of your precious time." Isaac snorted, and said, "You know it." Afterwards, he said sharply, "This square at the entrance is also my site for Shangri-La. Hurry up and let people come and pick you up. If I come out later, if I see you are still there, I will break your other leg." After Isaac finished speaking, he turned and left the scene. The father and son were left almost desperate. Roger cried and asked Ragnar at this time, "Dad, what shall we do now? I want to go back to Suzhou, and I don't want to stay in Orus Hill anymore." Ragnar gritted his teeth and said, "I will call your grandfather now and ask him to send a helicopter over to take us back." In fact, Ragnar had already broken his heart in Orus Hill. At this time, he just wanted to go back and treat his legs quickly. So Ragnar immediately called his father, and on the phone, he complained to his father about what happened here. After listening to this, Mr. Wu became furious. The Wade family is really deceiving people too much. His eldest son and eldest grandson had both broken their legs, and it was fake that Mr. Wu was not angry. However, after getting angry, he sighed again and said, "Wait, I will contact the General Aviation Company in Orus Hill, and hurry up to rent a helicopter to pick you up." Ragnar also knew that even if his father regained his energy, there would be no way to do this. After all, the Wu family could only be regarded as ants in front of the Wade family, without any strength to compete with it. A few minutes later, the old master called and told Ragnar, "The helicopter has been found. It will be there to pick you up in 15 minutes. "Great." Ragnar even choked up. He has never suffered such a big humiliation in his life. Now he is like a child who has been wronged outside, just thinking about being able to go home sooner. After hanging up the phone, he said to Roger, "Your grandpa has arranged a helicopter, and it will be there in 15 minutes. When Roger heard this, he cried in excitement. Ragnar hugged him, and the father and son cried together. The 5 Jones Zijo lying on the ground also felt very complicated. They are sad, because they are now completely useless, and may never have the chance to stand up. But they were also very fortunate. Fortunately, Isaac came forward and asked the Wu family to take care of them and send them to be inspected by Isaac regularly. This also means that he will not be retaliated by the Wu family and will not be killed by them. On the contrary, he will be raised by the Wu family. Thinking about it this way, at least the future life will still have a fall. Otherwise, with Regnar's character, he will definitely kill them immediately. At this moment, Wu Qi, who had been at Regnar's home, suddenly called Regnar. At this time, he had just finished eating and had just regained his senses. Regardless of the stench in his mouth, he hurriedly called his father Regnar. Regnar didn't expect the younger son to call him. After all, he has been very depressed during this period of time. Every time he finishes eating, he wants to die and commit suicide. The whole person is very decadent. No one wants to see or talk. Don't know why he is calling him at this time. Could it be that he heard about what happened to his eldest son and called to comfort me? Thinking of this, Regnar felt somewhat relieved. But after the call was connected, he heard Wu Qi's extremely flustered voice. Dad. It's not good. Grandpa had a heart attack just now. What? Regnar blurted out, what's the matter? When I was talking on the phone with your grandpa just now, his voice sounded fine.